I believe that he was making the money he says he's making. Showtime Boxing wouldn't have gone out of business. And
Jake Paul's world has come crashing down with a lifetime sentence. Who would have guessed that the prankster turned YouTube star would end up facing something this serious in the boxing world? But hey, Jake, did you really think you could just waltz into Showtime Boxing, call yourself a champ, and have it all figured out? Nice try.
And Jake Paul's very smart, man. Like he gets guys that he's bigger than.
Younger
the only time
than.
he fought another boxer his size was Tom Fury, and he lost.
Boxing isn't some gotcha prank where you can hit undo or fix it in post. There's no edit button here. Mistake it for one, and you'll pay the price sometimes with a lifetime sentence.
And Jake Paul's very smart, man. Like he gets guys that he's bigger than. The only time he fought another boxer his size was Tom Fury, and he lost.
Jake Paul, the self-proclaimed YouTube king and boxing's loudest one, Abe, has finally hit rock bottom, and let's be real, it was only a matter of time. He built his fame on controversy, trash talk, and knowing how to annoy people. And for a while, it actually worked.
Tyson is averaging more punches than he did in that fight with McBride and in the exhibition against Roy Jones, where he averaged 24 punches around.
Like I said, I don't like the better keep messing with that mouthpiece.
Jake strutted into the boxing world, throwing punches and flashing cash, convincing everyone he was the real deal. But now, his world is falling apart faster than his excuses, and honestly, it's hard not to find it a little satisfying. When Jake first stepped into the ring, he wasn't just selling fights, he was selling a dream. "I'm the future of boxing," he'd shout, chest out, like he'd just knocked out Muhammad Ali in his dreams. The reality? Not even close.
Jake fought a guy who was his age and who was also considered a boxer, and he lost.
Take his fight with Tyron Woodley. Sure, it ended in a taco, but did anyone actually buy it? Woodley, a seasoned MMA fighter, went down in a way that felt more like a Hollywood script than a real boxing match. But let's get to the real scandal, the fight-fixing drama. This is where Jake Paul's serious athlete act went up in flames. He had the audacity to set up a fight with Mike Tyson, the guy who could probably knock someone out just by looking at them. According to leaked documents and insider rumors, Jake and his team were allegedly plotting some shady moves to rig the fight in his favor. Because why rely on actual skill when you can cheat, right?
This right here, Skip, Jake Paul has everything to win if he was to defeat Mike Tyson.
Fans weren't just disappointed, they were furious. This wasn't just another one of Jake Paul's stunts. It was a total insult to boxing. A sport built on hard work, respect, and dedication, and Jake. He treated it like some kind of TikTok challenge.
And Jake, he treated it like his personal TikTok challenge.
And everybody was saying, oh, nice shot by Jake Paul.
Right hand by Paul, that is his most effective.
The highly anticipated showdown between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson on November 15, 2024, was supposed to be the event of the year. Instead, it became a prime example of controversy and letdowns. A whopping 65 million people tuned in on Netflix to watch the spectacle at ATandTStadium in Texas. And what did they get? A fight that felt more like a bad reality TV episode than a true battle of legends.
Mike Tyson's just been beat off Jake Paul. But how? Mike Tyson's an absolute legend and one of the greatest fighters of all time. How can this YouTuber beat such a great...
The result. Jake Paul won by unanimous decision. That's right, on paper, he dominated the match. But if you watched it, the story felt completely different. The whole fight seemed off, like watching a bad actor trying to play a role he clearly couldn't handle but still thought he was nailing. Jake didn't outbox Tyson. He practically carried him through the fight, barely throwing a single punch that looked even remotely aggressive.
Superior mobility. Yes, he's going to be more mobile. Yes, he's younger and he can move his feet around. So again, from round one, nothing surprised me so far. Connects with a quick 1-2 combination. Timing appears slightly off. His punches a fraction slower than in his prime. Of course they are. So round one was pretty accurate.
And speaking of scripts, the pre-fight drama was straight out of a soap opera. The whole Jake Paul vs. Mike Tyson fight felt like it was scripted. You had an aging Tyson dealing with health issues, and then Jake Paul in the mix. The whole event had more pre-planned drama than a reality TV show. From elder abuse accusations to the way Paul seemed more like a lifeguard making sure Tyson didn't drown in the ring than actual fighter, it was hard to take seriously.
And everybody was saying, oh, nice shot by Jake Paul.
Right hand by Paul. That is his moment.
Watching 27-year-old Jake Paul shuffle around the ring with a man nearly 30 years his senior just felt wrong on so many levels. Tyson, though still intimidating in presence, wasn't the Iron Mike of his prime. He was coming off a delayed fight due to a stomach ulcer flare-up. And let's not forget the huge gap between expectations and reality. This fight was hyped as the fight of the year, a clash between two legends from completely different worlds. What fans got, though, was more like a glorified sparring session.
Jake Paul, 12 of 53, 23%.
Oh
Tyson coming out aggressively. Tyson.
Jake danced around Tyson, threw a few punches that barely landed, and the whole thing ended with Jake's hand raised in victory. Fans were understandably furious. Social media exploded with criticism, with many saying they felt tricked into watching what was really just a publicity stunt dressed up as a professional fight.
I believe that he was making the money he says he's making. Showtime Boxing wouldn't have gone out of business, and Showtime would have made sure they kept paying him.
Right.
The backlash wasn't just about the fight, it was about what it represented. Jake Paul has always been a controversial figure, but this took it to a whole new level. For traditional boxing fans, it was another slap in the face, a clear reminder that the sport they love is being turned into a joke by celebrity influencers just looking to cash in.
You can't fight like 2 days in a row.
Wasn't the Tyson-Jake fight, wasn't that amazing?
Yeah. It's amazing they got paid so much money for that.
And Jake, he seemed completely unbothered by the criticism, soaking in his win and the rumored $40 million payday that came with it.
X has spoken. The fight was scripted. Everyone is talking about this on X, and the script was actually leaked on X.
But here's where it gets really messy. After the fight, whispers of rigging and scripting started to surface. Leaked documents and insider accounts hinted that the whole thing might have been pre-planned, right down to the scores.
Shows with his superior mobility. Yes, he's going to be more mobile. Yes, he's younger and he can move.
Suddenly, Jake's unimpressive performance started to make a lot more sense. If the fight really was fixed, it explains why he was pulling his punches and why Tyson, even though he wasn't the fighter he once was, never seemed to be in any real danger. Fans who were already disappointed by the lackluster fight now had a whole new reason to be furious.
Netflix is being issued a class action in relation to the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight.
So where does this leave Jake Paul? Facing the music at last. Legal challenges, accusations of fraud, and a growing wave of public backlash are starting to crack his invincible persona. This fight, which was supposed to prove he was a serious contender, has instead become a PR disaster. The once unshakable influencer now finds himself at the heart of a scandal that might be too big to recover from.
He wasn't even good at the end, and now he's 58 and he's been living the kind of life he's been living. How's he gonna have a chance? I'm putting everything on Paul. I'm laying 180. I think it was 180 he was getting. It was two. I think it went up to minus 220, whatever, but it was minus 180.
Where do we even begin? Jake Paul's arrest wasn't just a legal matter, it was pure, unfiltered drama. The once cocky YouTuber turned boxer found himself surrounded by officers, and for once, his mouth wasn't running nonstop. This wasn't just a shock to his fans, it was a headline writer's dream come true. The charges: breach of contract and potential fraud. That's right, the guy who spent months hyping up his fight with Mike Tyson couldn't even keep his legal affairs in order. But it wasn't just the charges that got people talking, it was Jake's reaction. Panic doesn't even begin to cover it.
You can't fight like 2 days in a row.
Wasn't the Tyson-Jake fight, wasn't that amazing?
Yeah. It's amazing they got paid so much money for that.
One moment he was bragging about his $40 million payday, and the next, he looked like a deer in headlights. Gone was the over-the-top confidence, replaced by a meltdown so public it made even his harshest critics cringe.
Tyson's 58 years old, you know what I mean? Jake fought a guy who was his age and who was also considered a boxer, and he lost.
If you thought Jake Paul was good at playing tough, this moment revealed the truth behind the act. All those Instagram posts, flashy cars, and trash talk couldn't hide the fact that when the pressure came, Jake folded faster than a cheap lawn chair. The arrest wasn't just a legal issue, it was a full-blown character reveal. Fans who had once cheered him on were left wondering, Was any of it real? Hello. If Jake Paul thought getting cuffed was the lowest point, he was sorely mistaken. The fallout from the allegations of fight tampering has been nothing short of catastrophic.
And quite frankly, me too, because I don't want to hear any of you dumb fucks anymore. Today, I'm reading your troll comments and eating them as...
First up is the looming threat of a lifetime ban from boxing. That's right. Jake, the self-proclaimed savior of modern boxing, might be permanently kicked out of the sport he's been trying so hard to break into.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. Let's run it. I'll be super, super down.
But wait, there's more. On top of the ban, Jake is facing lawsuits and regulatory actions, the kind of legal trouble that makes you wish you had just stuck to making prank videos on YouTube. It's one thing to deal with public backlash, but it's another to potentially spend years in courtrooms battling accusations that could land you behind bars. Sports history is full of dramatic downfalls, but Jake Paul's is unique in its absurdity. Unlike athletes who fell from grace due to personal struggles or tragic circumstances, Jake's downfall is all his own, a mix of arrogance, poor judgment, and an insatiable hunger for fame and fortune.
Goes low and gets in, and he did that and had a clear opening on Jake, and Jake went like this, and Mike just didn't hit him, and that's the video.
At this point, Jake Paul isn't just a boxer in trouble, he's a cautionary tale. A reminder that you can only fake it for so long before reality comes crashing down. And when it does, no amount of followers, clickbait headlines, or overpriced merch can save you. So there you have it. The rise, the fall, and the crash landing of Jake Paul. From internet king to boxing clown, all in a few short months. His empire crumbled under bad decisions, poor judgment, and a lack of self-awareness. But hey, what did we expect when someone treats boxing like it's just another episode of The Real Housewives? But seriously, what does this all mean for sports and entertainment? Maybe it's time to rethink who we elevate to champion status. As for Jake's future, who knows, maybe a redemption arc is on the horizon. But I wouldn't bet on it.